Hello, everybody, and welcome. It is July. How are you all doing? How are you all feeling? I hope everyone is staying good and clear, especially here in Washington. Please, people, be safe. There is a lot of people evacuating right now because it is dry season. And why would people be shooting fireworks in dry season? I don't know. So it's a reason. But in any case, let's go ahead and give a little bit of update to see these wonderful faces. Starting with, of course, Javion. How have you been doing?
Hi, Bonsai. You can tell I'm not using my regular camera or
Oh,
background right now. I'm visiting a friend because Comcast blew up at my apartment, and for some reason, I can't use my internet there. I haven't had it for 4 days. And I gotta tell you, I don't get what all these people who go on like retreats and like go on these like cleanses are talking about. I am miserable without. I hate it. I hate not having the internet. So I've just been playing a lot of board game arena on my phone. Have you heard of this game called Challengers? I feel like I talk about this all the time. I am addicted. I've been playing it non-stop. It's just this card game that won like a few awards, and I completely dismissed when it came out. But now I literally have like four different turn-based games going at this very moment. I'm like holding myself back from like clicking over to another tab and just, like finishing an extra turn.
no, I totally understand that. Have you heard of Slay the Spire? That one's also really
Yes.
good when, yeah.
Yes, absolutely. I would say another card game that is very, well, not even card game, but another game that's very eerily similar to Challengers, if you want to try it, Super Auto Pets. It's another
Oh,
game where you
yes.
you just build your quote unquote deck of animals and then they go fight for you. It's so addicting. I love it.
It's okay. Yeah, I totally understand the hate for Comcast. There's been many times in my household where all I hear is "Damn you, Comcast!" out loud while we were trying to get the internet connected. It's a very fun thing to watch, but also very much nightmare. But in any case, we're not going to talk about that because we don't want to get flagged for besmirching the name of Comcast. Noir, do you have happy news to give us?
No. No,
Oh,
I'm just
okay, yeah.
kidding. No, it's been a pretty chill week. Yeah, I've been vibing. Been playing a lot of games, been doing a lot of writing. That's been the hard part, and getting some editing in. I had a unfortunate mishap with my computer, but I have a new hard drive. It's been installed. So now I have more space than I know what to do with. Other than that, I've just been low-key vibing and yeah. Also, Comcast. I just
Comcast.
want to get in on that.
Oh, can we all have a frame first so we shake our fist at Comcast in
Oh,
three,
I'd
two,
love that.
one. Comcast!
Comcast.
Thank you. Allowing us to do that. All right. In any case, let's go ahead and get this ball rolling in the
But wait,
vibe still.
Bonsai, what about
What
you?
Oh,
about
What were you up
you?
to this
I
week?
totally forgot about me. I have been David diving it up. I don't know if you guys heard about this game called Dave the Diver. It's like like a RPG game where you are this man who goes diving in the ocean that's called the blue hole. And you find things and you harpoon them and then you take them to a guy who runs a sushi restaurant and it's magic. It's just great. Also, it's totally about Guam. I know it's about Guam because Guam is the only place with the most notable blue hole right by the Marianas Trench, and they talk about Coco's Island. I know they're talking about Guam. Sorry.
I see you get a little passionate when it comes to Guam.
A little bit sometimes. Sometimes when you grow up somewhere, you live there and you're born there, you get kind of passionate and tied to the land. But
Oh,
I
I wouldn't know
digress.
anything about that.
Where do you live? Nora,
Chicago, baby,
you
all
never
day,
talk
every
about it. You've
day.
never told us.
Right there, let's go. Chicago Bears, Italian sausages. Lord, ah.
All right, we got regional love here in Gen Con TV. You know it. Represent all the different areas. Guam and then Chicago. And then Javion. You could be what are you repping?
The VA,
Ah,
Virginia. Let's
Virginia.
go. No, I don't care about Virginia. Virginia's awful.
Sorry, there's absolutely no love behind that. Like VA, let's go.
I was like, the Veterans Affair? That's what it is. All right, sorry, we are going off the track. Let's go on with this train trying to get on. Boom, 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 boom. And you know what? Guess what? It's gonna happen. For our interviewee today, we're gonna be joined by Jeffrey Dohm-Sanchez, and he's gonna be talking the talk. So if you guys have any questions for Jeffrey before he comes on, please put it in chat, and we'll try to get them, write them down about all this kind of stuff. But yeah, stick around. You know what's cool? What's awesome is that when we're changing topics, changing all these subjects and going through things, I like to think of, games that really change the world in some way. You know what would be significant about that is Games for Change. It is a organization that awards games, mainly video games that have made a huge contributed to making the world better in some way. Not necessarily that they're huge. It's just that the way of their mechanics, they're promoting like basically healthy way of thinking, of changing, like a game changer, disruptive games. Well, this year, thanks to Charlie Hall at Polygon for bringing this up, they announced the finalists for this year for the Games for Change, and this is going to be the first time that there's going to be a tabletop game award. They usually do a lot of various video games, books, and such for these, or like games. Normally they just do video games with different categories. This time they're going to be doing tabletop game awards, and I'm going to go ahead and just these games that they're going to be awarding are Solar Punk Future. It's a collaborative storytelling game about making a utopian future, like basically based on what your modern time is, and with the technology, role playing collaboratively with a lot of people to get to a solar punk future, which is like a very nice utopian where we're like solar powered. We're not on like hooked to the yoke of the fossil fuels and such like that. We also have, forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, Sashin Azidi, which is a semi-co-op political strategy game, board game, where you play as revolutionaries to fight imperial regime. After that is El Viaje de los Guardians, Journey of the Guardians. It's a children's board game about learning empathy with children from multiple different backgrounds. And last but not least is hashtag For You, a game about algorithms, which is a card-based game teaching teens about how algorithm works and how they're made and what information they get from you when you post online. So Javion, Noir, do any of these games, like, I know pop out to you at all?
Yeah, I love the look of El Viaje de los Guardianes. I didn't realize it was a children's game. It just looked like a really fun to play kind of game. I love all the bits and bobs, the cool design of like the cute characters and these like strange door figures that they have. Um, I'm not sure exactly what it's about other than like exploration, but I would love to know more about it. So I'm gonna definitely keep an eye out for that one.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I'm really into solar punk futures. I think I've said it here before. I don't like the dystopian, like Fallout type kind of future where everything is like just desolated and destroyed. I do like my environments to be a little bit more colorful, and this scratches that itch perfectly. It's a beautiful looking game. The artwork is fantastic, and I haven't had a chance to try it out, but just the aesthetics is just right in that sweet spot for me. So I definitely want to give it a try.
Yeah,
Well,
no.
tell me more about what a solar punk setting is, because I've never heard that before.
So it's kind of like cyberpunk, but with life. When you think of like cyberpunk, you think of like mega cities where it's just industry everywhere, skyscrapers, metal, smoke, and that kind of stuff.
Mm.
Solar punk, it takes that and mixes it in with nature. So like you'll have like this cyberpunk city with like a lush forest and greenery mixed in. So you're still getting the neon cyberpunk feel, but it's mixed with a nature aesthetic, which feels a lot more vibrant and a lot more hopeful to me. I just don't like the idea of in the future we've destroyed the earth. Like, let the earth grow with us. Like that's what I get into.
I can see why they added it or created this kind of game. And rather than something a little bit more bleak, it's games for change. So I'm assuming, yeah, it's all about like nonprofits trying to make the world a better place. Yeah, I'm loving all of the different ways that they're getting that message across with their game design. This is really cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I would like this will at least points me to a lot of games I wasn't even aware of that I will totally like get like just like you said, the solar punk game is the one that I mostly like. Oh, that's great because I have other collab storytelling games and I feel like that is perfect to like look forward to the future, versus looking forward to like Grimdark and for the Emperor when he's asleep. And then but Javion, do you know about, the grim darkness?
No, I wouldn't know anything about that, but I do know something about Warhammer 40K. It looks like Games Workshop has just announced a new epic scale Warhammer 40K game. So, along the same lines as Warhammer 40K and Age of Sigmar, instead of getting just a slice of the pie, they have announced Warhammer the Horus Heresy Legions Imperialis, which is actually going to give you the entire massive scale battles that you're just playing little skirmishes of in regular Warhammer 40K games. So this is set to be much, much larger, more minis on the table, larger scale battles, and lots more variety that can happen when you're playing out all these massive different lore based battles. So, thanks to the smaller scale miniatures that feature multiple infantry units on one base, along with mech units like Titans that tower above them, Legions Imperialis is bringing a new flavor, just big, just going for extra, extra, extra. So the Horus Heresy, for those of you who maybe like me didn't know what that is, it's one of the defining moments of Warhammer 40K lore. It focuses on all of the war between the forces of the Imperium. Approximately half of the Imperial legions turned traitor against the Emperor of Man during the conflict, leading to a drastic reduction in mankind's forces, but also providing the origin story for the Chaos Space Marines that plague the far-flung future of Warhammer 40K. So, Games Workshop is publishing a line of miniatures for the Horus Heresy, although it's a smaller line because the various miniatures can be painted and customized to represent any of the 18 Imperial legions present in the conflict. Because these are just, cannon fodder, a bunch of space marines and doodads and what's-its, they can be customized in various different ways because there's just so many battles that you can play out in your games. It looks like it's going to be launching in August with a launch box coming out with 233 miniatures split between the Space Marines, the Solar Auxilia, and the Titans. Included are also 106 Space Marine infantry and walkers, 5 tanks, 104 infantry for the Solar Auxilia faction, and walkers, and a bunch more stuff, to be honest. There's just like a lot of really big miniatures that come as well. Now, Games Workshop has also confirmed that all the terrain options from the previous epic scale game, Adeptus Titanicus, I'm sure you remember, all of those will be compatible with the new game. All of the terrain options, that is. So you can bring in miniatures from Adeptus Titanicus and Aeronautica Imperialis miniatures games as well. So because this is coming out in August, and because Gen Con is going to be in the first weekend of August, I'm going to bet that very likely we might see, and I'm not saying this is a guarantee, but we might see a bunch of Games Workshop stuff from Horus Heresy actually being shown at Gen Con. So if you're going there, keep your eyes open. Now, that's just wishful thinking. Games Workshop tends to have a lot of really cool stuff, really big stuff anyway. So this would, I think, be a huge addition that people will be looking forward to. And releasing this announcement like a month before it actually comes out, I think, yeah, I think they're gonna have something really cool. So I'm gonna look forward to seeing that there.
Oh yeah, no worries. I definitely, the Games Workshop does such a beautiful casting for all of their works. I mean, it's just very amazing. And also, I just like the idea that they're like little itty bitty groups of Marines that you can start pushing onto the table. And like the biggest figurine is like their megaliths or like that are 4 inches tall, if I remember correctly, looking the schematics, and stuff like that. But it is, I am looking forward to the Warhammer booth at Gen Con because they always really have like really nice displays whenever they're there, especially one of their like bigger costumes. I wonder if people are going to be cosplaying there to go take pictures. I do favor them a lot. But yeah, all right. So I think we have been talking about this for the past few weeks now, but it has been finally revealed, Noir. What has been revealed this week? Do you know?
Oh, yes. The One Ring has been found. That's all. No, I'm kidding. The One Ring has been found. It's a singular serialized card for Magic the Gathering for their Lord of the Rings set. And little is known about the circumstances of its discovery. The only thing that is certain about the card is that someone somewhere wants to buy it. And that, my friends, can mean only one thing. The tax man cometh. And again, thank you, Charlie Hall, for this fantastic story. Early reporting seems to show that the owner of the One Ring card, who wishes to remain anonymous, is currently in Ontario, Canada, and has secured the services of an attorney. And that's a great first step. Representatives from Ontario Tax Services and Argyle Tax Services have told Polygon, who reported this by telephone, because they now need to establish the provenance of the card. If the card was purchased at a store as part of a blind pack of cards, which in all likelihood it was, then the sale of that card will likely be considered a capital gain. The same Canadian law applies regardless of whether or not the card came from the single purchase of a single pack, which is roughly about $12.99, or a pack of cards, which crested at around $518 at launch on June 23rd. Once sold, Canada's progressive rate then goes into effect, making 50% of the sale taxable at 49%. If our lucky ring bearer cashes out for about $2 million, currently the highest bid coming from Spain, they will owe roughly $490,000, according to the tax professionals that Polygon spoke with. So, I mean, you're still getting a lot of money in return for the purchase of this card, but that takes a little bit of that stings a bit.
Yeah. Well, that's
yeah.
So.
Go ahead.
No, I was just say that's like the Canadian taxes. That's what they do for the healthcare and everything like that. That is a big windfall cut. I believe, what is it? I don't even know what the United States cut is. Like what, 20%, 15 if for windfall for taxes? I can't even remember.
I think it's around 30%, somewhere around there. But that's why I continue to advocate chaos and destruction. Listen, if you sell the card, you have to pay $490,000. But if you film yourself threatening to destroy the card unless your demands are met, that's taxable at $0.00. And you get the lulls, which we all know laughter is priceless. So to the individual that has the card, I respect your anonymity, but please heed my call. Troll. Troll hard, troll often, troll merrily. You have a power the likes of, and you're anonymous. So keep that anonymity going. Like, come on, man.
Just be in a dark room with a one light with white gloves on or something like that.
dangle it over a toilet and say if 30 people don't do the chicken dance and post it on TikTok with the hashtag chicken for the ring, I'm gonna destroy it. Like, come on, man. We need this. We're in a dark, dark time right now, and you can give us laughs that no one else can. So heed my call, whoever and wherever you are, troll.
I think they did get it appraised though. It was
Yeah.
appraised, and
Yeah.
even with it being appraised, it only got a 9 out of 10, which is very surprising. It tells you how roughly they handled these packs just off the bat. You know what I mean? If it's like, yeah, right out of pristine, out of the carrier, maybe got roughed, still got a 9 out of 10, but still that doesn't matter because it's the one of its
It's
kind.
the one ring. Like, nobody's gonna be like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get a 9.9 one ring. I'm gonna wait for it. Oops, there's nothing to wait for. It's the only one. You have that power, sir. It's almost as good as having the actual one ring.
Just having to hold the power, hold it hostage.
You control a legion of nerds.
I'm just saying, it wouldn't be smart just to do. I feel like if they went auction house, they could get way over $2 million.
I don't know.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
I just feel bad for the people who like really wanted it just to like play it in like tournament and like shock people are just not gonna get to do that or see that even. It's just an object to be traded for profit. Like that's all it is.
Oh no! So there, you can still play the One Ring card. So to explain, the One Ring card itself, there are many copies of, but there is only one version of this card. So if you want to play it for its mechanical benefits, you can still get that card, and it's probably very cheap in comparison. But this one, it's marked 1 of 1, and it's fantastic. And oh.
Chaos. If we just quietly chant it, it'll happen. Chaos. You want to know what isn't chaotic? Guess what they just announced? Thank you to J.R. Zambrano from Bell of Lost Souls. Gloomhaven now has announced a solo game. If you guys haven't seen, they announced Buttons and Bugs, the new solo game. It's very interesting how they like. If you have time, definitely click on the official trailer announcement for us. It's great. They hearken to the fact that the first Gloomhaven box was just way too big, so they went and did a lot of studies and shrunk it down to this little bitty size, which they advertise that is under £1 for the whole complete set. It's the game components. It's a smaller set of game components, smaller set of miniatures. Includes 6 characters and 8 abilities per character, with 22 full scenarios in the game. It is the whole idea is you are Gloomhaven mercenaries that have been shrunken down by a cursed booby trap, trying to go into this tavern to contact like one of the well-known sorcerer characters there that are just like, I'm too busy to deal with you right now. Anybody who knocks on this tavern door to mess with me is going to get shrunk itty bitty. And so that's what you are. You are stuck in this tavern, shrunken, and you have to try to work through this like world of the Crooked Bone Tavern, trying to figure out how to contact said character that cursed you to make you big again. You'll be battling bugs as enemies and like traversing things like dirty kitchen and stuff like that. Just trying to live as this itty bitty borrower in this tavern. I mean, Javion Noir, what do you think of this solo adventure game that they are making?
I'm excited to try it, actually.
I remember seeing this pop up on my feed on Facebook, and I thought of it as like, oh, okay. So Gloomhaven really does want to do a lot more than just their flagship, right? Like they're not just like riding the coattails of something that really big that happened. They're really trying to expand more. We've seen the RPG that's actually still on its crowdfunding campaign right now. We've seen all the expansions that it's led to, all of the standalones that it's led to. I love the idea of a solo game of just Gloomhaven because it's the exact like opposite of what their original like huge legacy game was for. Like it's just this massive thing that takes 2 hours to set up, 2 hours to put away, and then countless more to even get through. And then you have this like tiny little card game that you can bring around to like an airport or something.
Yeah, I'm definitely seeing an expansion of the brand. Like I was playing the Switch the other day, and I went to the Nintendo shop, and it's just like, boom, right there, Gloomhaven. So I'm seeing it a little bit more everywhere I go, and I'm excited about that. I think there's like an aggressive expansion to this brand, and one way or another, you're gonna find a way to be exposed to it, and hopefully that funnels people back to the original game itself. So I'm very excited for this, and I think other companies should perhaps take a look at what Gloomhaven is doing and kind of adopt what they're doing here.
Yeah, like Javion said, we were just last week talking about the RPG of the Gloomhaven and such. And I think it's kind of interesting. Like maybe they're trying to be like in this wake of people trying to make space and be their own figure. Maybe this could be the next Dungeons and Dragons. We never know. The cool thing would be now, oh, Gloomhaven, the from like we'll look back on this 20 years from now with like several different iterations via video game, via RPG, via like board game of Gloomhaven, the brand expanded. There maybe even be Gloomhaven Con. We never know. It'd be interesting to see how far they run,
This is
you know.
definitely giving just from like the lore of like the story that you're playing through is definitely giving me Quantum Mania vibes, which wasn't a movie that I thoroughly enjoyed. But I will also say, uh, I I feel like maybe they still hate dice for some reason. I don't know why they had a perfect opportunity. You're playing you cubes, little cubes, and you didn't think to put numbers on the side of them. All right. I guess I still want Gloomhaven with dice. I guess we'll still have to wait for the RPG.
You need to write to them, JVon, and be like, please, Gloomhaven with dice. That's all I want. They could be D6s. This give me these dice. No, that is very cool. And we'll have to see more to go. I actually might even get this because I was intimidated to just do Gloomhaven because how am I gonna stick to a game with like for years with somebody, even though I have somebody that I game with and we've been gaming for over like 9 years together. I'm like, how am I gonna find a campaign or somebody? It'd be interesting to see and watch this. But you know what? We got some hot piping news that just dropped this morning. Javion, you got your mittens on?
I
Because I
sure
got some
do.
hot ennies to throw at you.
Yep. You can't see it. My hands are below the camera, but yes, I have my mittens on. I wouldn't want to burn myself on all of these hot ennies. Folks, if you don't know, the Ennies are board game awards that are given out every year to the best of the best of the best. They have categories on categories on categories. You name it, they got a category for it. They've got the judges spotlight winners. They've got the best adventure. They've even got best rules and best accessory. Like they go really deep to find the best of the best for gamers, not just tabletop role playing games, but all kinds of tabletop gaming. So we've got lots of different categories, way too many games to list all here, but these are just the nominees so far. What you can do is you can check out the link in chat and you can follow along with what we're taking a look at here. I have picked out just a few that were standouts for me, and I'll just start with my favorite one from the best aid slash accessory digital version, not to be confused with the non-digital best aid or accessory. The one that I'm hoping wins the digital best accessory is DD Dice from the 3D Dice Company. If you take a look at dddice.com, you'll find a that's right, free resource where you can roll dice with your friends over the internet. And I plan to use this for any and all role playing that we need to do for TableTakes game night in the future that doesn't require us to go into like roll 20 and everybody makes a character and all these other. Sometimes you really quickly just want to do like a one shot and you don't have time to set up everything. So it's really cool to see that there's this like really cool resource, this really cool tool just rolling 3D dice so that everybody can see it at the same time. Next up, I wanted to take a look at Flabbergasted, the Wanderer's Tome. It got nominated, amongst others, for the best art slash interior. It's a comedic role playing game. You ever sit around a table playing like D&D or anything like that, and you're like, this is hilarious, this is fun, and sometimes the laughter is the best part, the part that you share with everybody. Well, you can, in this game, join an up and coming social club and get up to mischief, mayhem, and many marvelous misadventures, all before your afternoon tea. It's a role playing game set in the roaring 20s, and it's set in the turn of the 20th century. So you'll either take on the role of an affable aristocrat, an entrepreneurial well to do, or an idealistic bohemian, or one of the ever ready and steadfast staff. So there's lots of different funny characters to play in. It really gives you the sense that we're going back 100 years exactly. Don't forget we're in the 20s right now. And share in some of the hilarity and misadventures that can ensue there. Now, behind the scenes, we were all talking about some of the things that we were really excited about, all the nominees that we were talking about. So I know a couple of you, Bonsai and Noir, saw some nominees that really stood out to you. What are you hoping wins?
I'm rooting for Linda Codega in everything Linda Codega is nominated for. They are the absolute best. I love them dearly. Also, I'm rooting for Translators podcast. I love Connie I've seen the work that they've done over on Translator firsthand, and it is amazing. So I hope they come away with some gold. That team. I could keep going, but I should probably stop. What about you?
Well, I do have the first thing that really did pop out to me was the best RPG related content product. I have the Owl Bear, the little plush right here. I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm too lazy to get up to grab it. Or, well, here, I'll go grab it. Give me a second.
Thank you, Bonsai. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Well, Bonsai's up. Me and Noir are gonna see who we can get to go first before the other one. No, Bonsai, you got it? What is it?
Yes, it's right here. It's a little owl bear. It comes with a little magnet set. It was also, if you guys looked, it was advertised at Gen Con at the time too. I was one of the people that happened to back it early enough, so I got it. It's got a little fancy owl bear cape.
I love it.
And he's a very fancy boy. There's just a lot. I'm trying to see where there's also the Green Sea. I can't remember what category it is. I talked about it last time at Gen Con. I brought in the book. It's essentially like an RPG world where instead of an endless ocean, it's an endless forest, and you ride on these chainsaw boats and have to deal with bugs and creatures that live in the trees. And it's a really awesome RPG game. So, yes.
I can't wait to check it out. Another quick shout out to Best Cartography. I don't know if you realize that was even a category for the ENnie Awards. But yes, Best Cartography, Best Maps. We've got Campaign Builder, Cities and Towns Mapfolio. That's from Kobold Press, and I had a chance to grab some of that stuff. It's super fun. I love having more tools and resources as a GM. Especially when D&D can be a real pain in the butt since I have to do all the work myself, unlike some other RPGs. Well, Campaign Builder, cities and towns help me build a lot of towns and cities, understanding some of the stuff that goes into making a city. Like, what's the city for? How do cities even get created and things like that? And figuring out not just what buildings and uses and functions they have, but also the geography and the land. So if you take a look at the map folio that Kobold Press released for cities and towns, you'll see a lot of stuff that they actually created using all of the tools and resources that were in their own books. So sort of practicing what they preach. They've got everything from tiny little woodland villages to massive structures on mountaintops or elven islands on tops of like waterfalls and things like that. It's truly a huge pack of great maps to use. I know a lot of maps tend to be like battle maps or like caves and dungeons and things like that. So having like an actual town map is Oh, so nice to have, because I typically end up, going to like a random generator or something like that on my own. But this is the kind of thing that makes me inspired to figure out like what's gonna be in my town, what kind of city personality of like traditions and like festivals are gonna be a part of it. It's essential culture and things like that. So there's a lot of other really cool nominees. Y'all can just check them out for
Nice.
yourself with the
Oh,
link in chat.
I found the thing I was talking, the Wild Sea RPG and best writing. That's what I'm voting
Ooh,
for. Wild Sea.
okay,
Yeah,
great,
sorry.
great.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, no, that's excellent. I think you should all definitely check that out. Definitely check out the best aid and accessory non-digital as well. I know I talked about my favorite digital one, but there's also the Book of New Jerusalem, which very much sounds like a very like biblical thing. It's really just about Britain and like England. Just because Jerusalem is is a name that's like stuck around since like the olden times. It's a real place, even though it happens to be in a fantasy book called the Bible. Uh, it's all it's about the secret war is coming to England. Will you be ready? It's 1927. As Britain continues her slow recovery, August Darcy, a young journalist, is seized with a strange obsession. To learn more, definitely check out the link in chat. And maybe you two can find some whimsy, mysticality, and fantasy in the Book of Smoke. Ooh. So yeah, there's just so many really cool things to talk about here, but I think you'll just have to explore them for yourself, because anytime an award show or anything like that comes out with things like this, I always find new things to get excited about. It's just like curated fun, you know?
Yeah.
All right. No, good stuff. Good stuff. But you want to know what is also good stuff? That we are done with the main headlines and zooming straight into bundles with the bundle boss with Noir in the bundle house. Bundle, 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 bundle house with Noir.
That's me. I'm the I'm the bundle boss, and I'm here today to tell you about Worldographer. We were talking about cartography before, but now we're doing Worldographer or Worldography. Blah. So, this is the all-new Worldographer bundle, which presents license keys and icon sets for Worldographer, the easy-to-use, not easy to say, software from Equal Ideas that lets you quickly craft maps of worlds, kingdoms, cities, villages, and dungeons for tabletop role-playing games. Whether you run Windows, Mac OS X, or Linux, Worldographer lets you make colorful hex maps and square grid battle maps step by step in minutes. The program can also auto-generate a map, anything from a wayside into a complete campaign world. It can annotate your map with details and special features, all fully editable. So you can go ahead and also import Inkwell's icon sets on your own graphics to customize your maps. The only limit on map size is your computer's memory. So you can go ahead and download the Worldographer program free at worldographer.com's website. Try it out. There's no charge, no obligation, and no time limit. But the free version has limited features. If you like Worldographer, return to the bundle that we're linking to get a bargain price set on license keys that permanently unlock the full featured pro versions of the main program and its city and dungeon expansions. No subscriptions, no additional purchases are required. So if this is the sort of thing that you're into, if you're like a world builder or you're a GM that wants to quickly throw something together, I cannot recommend anything more than this. Of course, it's going to a good cause as well as always. You can find all of the details at the link below. Go check it out. Build your world. Create maps for your players. It's a good time all the way around. You've got 17 days to get in on this. So there you go.
Very nice. And thank you so much, Noir, for that very worldography. Talk. You want to know what else? It's hard. It's a hard word. Don't worry about it. It's okay. You want to know what isn't hard? Choosing a court crowdfunder. Javion, you are a court crowd for. Oh wait, sorry. Actually, JK. I decided that I'm gonna nix this and say that actually I want to bring in Jeffrey Dohm-Sanchez right now. So we're gonna go ahead and bring Jeffrey in. Dun, 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 dun,
I
dun,
love
dun,
that you do this
and
every
change
time.
over the screen. Welcome, Jeffrey. To TableTakes.
They always come in like with deers in headlights.
Oh my god.
Hi, Jeffrey.
Hey, how you doing?
Welcome to the party.
That was just confusing. It's like I showed up in the dark and now I'm here. So
I love the angel devil arc that you've been on.
yeah,
the
it's
show.
weird. It's like it's dark Jeffrey Dohm-Sanchez. It's Angel Jeffrey. What one of these days? Like
What
like
is it
that.
you said you do again? Do you work in lighting, right? Like in like set
Yeah,
design?
I do this. Like, this is it's just like, it just never works right. I tell you. It's like I'm cursed. It's like the thing. I can move this right along. Nah, I give up.
Well,
Okay,
we
you
appreciate
just-
you being here regardless.
Oh, that made it a little better. Okay, cool. So, how you guys been?
Man, just vibing. A lot of news.
You hear about that one ring?
Oh my god. Okay. Like all I gotta say is I just keep using the phrase the one ring and millions and Magic the Gathering on the site all the time. Like I'd like a week where I don't have to talk about it. Okay. So it's been constant, nonstop. It's like the best selling Magic set ever. Like there's no doubt about it. We just put up the TCG player sealed report for sealed sales report for I think it was May, and I think it was something like 12 out of the 25 slots were all like Lord of the Rings Magic products. Like it was insane. Like they had to make like over $200 million on this one product alone. Like it's crazy. Like just nuts.
It is.
I don't know what to even say.
I'm
It's just-
I'm concerned that this might inspire them to do this with other brands now.
Yeah, I mean Doctor Who's queued up in the fall, so we'll see what happens. How many different one-of-one TARDISes you get, or
I was gonna
one-of-one
say a one-of-one
Doctors,
sonic screwdriver.
one-of-one Tom Baker Doctor Who cards. Like, there's a rumor floating around that like at some point or another, Wizards of the Coast is going to move on to autograph cards and packs and stuff like that.
Oh,
So that'd be
cool.
pretty interesting if that ended up in the Doctor Who thing. Really, and you also got to remember, Lord of the Rings, that set releases twice this year. Okay, so there's this edition that came out in the June, and then they got something coming called a special edition that's coming out in November. So that's going to have whole new chase cards, I'm assuming. I mean, it may not. I mean, maybe they don't like money, but like, it's like I don't know. That's my guesses. So
It would be interesting if they did get some people to actually sign it, like some of the actors, and have their like actual like portraits put in and then sign those cards. But I feel like that's a lot of money to pay for somebody to signature something. I don't know.
like it's interesting because I read something recently about how like Elijah Wood's going to be at one of the Magic Cons or something like that. So I don't know if that's too far out, like I don't know. They just made buckets of money and dump trucks of money off of this one product. So I don't see why, it's not possible. So
I'm wondering if they made money on this because it's the first time they did something like this, though. That's what I'm curious about.
well, it's sort of, you got to remember, this is sort of a holy grail for Wizards of the Coast. Like back in the day when they first started up Magic and they were getting licenses and stuff like that for Dungeons and Dragons and all this, one of the things that kind of eluded them was the Lord of the Rings license. It actually ended up with I think if I'm not wrong, it was like Sabretooth Games had it, which is like a subsidy of Games Workshop, and Decipher had it for a while. I mean, we're talking like ancient history. That's how far I'm going back here. And but they never seemed to get the Lord of the Rings license. And then they finally got it, and they made this like just blowout stellar product. I mean, everybody talks about the One of One ring being worth 3 million or 2 million or whatever you think it's gonna sell for in a heritage auction. Like, there's cards in that set that are worth 10,000, 13,000. So that's not bad either. Like, like there's one of 300. I think that's the Elven ring, which is just a soul ring with Elven writing on it. But they only made 300 serialized rainbow foils, and I've seen those go between $9,000 and $13,000. So like, I don't know. It's real, man. That's all I can say.
I love that they took existing cards and did just slap the Lord of the Rings name on top of them, and now they're gonna sell for a bunch of like the Sword of Anima is now like Boromir's ring or something. Like, come on.
I have to say the Cavern of Souls that's a Surge foil is pretty beautiful, because I think they did like the what was the Ghost Cavern in Lord of the Rings. That was the one they turned into Cavern of Souls.
Yeah.
It's a pretty card. Like, it's a couple $100.
Oh, yeah.
It's nice, like, in foil. I don't know. It's like, as I said, I mean, I just find it super funny that they turned a $2 Soul Ring into a $13,000 card. Like, that's like
It's printing money at that point.
They truly are wizards.
Nice.
No complaints here.
Jeffrey, so we've been talking a lot about Magic, but we've also been talking a lot about Gloomhaven and all the different moves that they've been making into different like venues and areas. Have you been hearing any buzz about all of the different Gloomhaven spin-offs that they've been doing?
Yeah, I mean, Cephalofair contacts me regularly with PR and stuff like that. I think what was it, the Bugs and Buttons one or something to that effect that came out?
We were just talking about that.
Yeah, and I think they're going to be a very strong brand in the future. They're going through this second edition, and the backer kit's got like what, 3 million in up there now. Like, is that how much? I can't remember. I think it was getting close to 3 million for the total campaign. So I mean, if you're raising like 10 million, 3 million, 5 million, like, I don't know, you're going to be a pretty successful brand as long as you keep doing what the fans like, and I guess that's what they're doing. So, they got an RPG, they got a second edition, good to go. So,
oh yeah, no, that's definitely. I know it just happened this morning, but have you been able to browse the Any Awards nominees for 2023? That just came out this morning?
I did not get a chance to take a look at that list yet. I mean, we're what, a month out from Gen Con, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jeffrey Dohm-Sanchez is incredibly busy. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's, it's the greatest 4 days in gaming. I mean, it's like, all the meetings and all the stuff I have to, do for the fall happens at Gen Con. So, I can't wait. I mean, I'm actually really excited for Gen Con this year.
What kinds of things are you excited for?
Man, I mean, it's just making contact with people. Like, there's some media events that I'm going to be going to. I guess Asmodee has a media event that I'm going to. Renegade has one. Like, it's something sort of new. I mean, they usually don't throw like these huge media events at conventions. At least they hadn't in the past. And I want to make contact with Whiz Kids again. I mean, there's just like a lot of people I haven't seen since Gamma Expo. So, and then there's of course all the new games. Like, who knows? There's going to be hundreds of dealers or / exhibitors on that floor. You're going to find all kinds of cool stuff there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'm definitely looking forward to Disney Lorcana. I don't know if you ever checked it out yourself.
I've been we're gonna have some interesting stuff coming for Disney Lorcana that we, coming in the near future. Okay. And it's actually something somebody just emailed me about today. So like and I ironically also put up an article about like how Magic is crushing everything on the charts, but Lorcana is in this weird zone right now because Ravensburger's been sued by Upper Deck. You guys read about that, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like it's doing funky things with the pre-orders of the Lorcana set. So this is something I'm a little worried about. I'm kind of like, okay, like what happened here? Like you guys were gung ho on this, and now, like there's a like it seems like the lawsuit's stifling the game a little bit. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't know. So I have mixed feelings about Lorcana right now. I can't wait to see what the product looks like. And it's possible I'll have some of that in a few weeks. So like, and you'll see it up on ICV too. But yeah, I'm psyched about that game. I want to, I talked to the designers. I don't know. It sounds good. Like, what you get to play Moana, right? So, like, or Maleficent, stuff like that. Those are, fantastic. Can't wait.
Yeah, I can't wait to get my first pack. It's like being able to buy Magic when it first comes out. It'd be foolish not to try to jump in on this. But I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you if you have any thoughts on the 1D&D playtest that's going on. Like, have you had a chance to try it out at all?
D&D is one of the games I kind of play regularly. Like, at least for me, it's regularly. Our group gets together about once a month. We've been sorting through the what is it? The 1D&D playtest. And we find some of the changes they're making interesting. We find some of they're just really, it seems like, streamlining the game. That's what it seems like. Like, D&D over the ages has been, not necessarily inclusive of everybody.
Yeah.
And I think that's what 1D&D is changing. So I'm pretty happy about that part. So
are there any parts that you're unhappy with?
Nah.
Okay, no, just curious. The whole series.
It doesn't. Right. I mean, I play bards in my campaigns, like, so it's just all, like I play everybody's character. It's basically,
True.
It's like I'm a warlock, I'm a cleric,
nothing but good things happen to the bard.
Yeah, right. They end up in a forest for a month because they have to be a ranger that day. So
they got their college of dance.
Oh yeah, they got the dance.
I think the bard gets, they get pooped on the most in the campaign because when somebody can't do something, they all look at the bard like, "Hey, you want to check for traps?" And I just kind of,
but now when a dance battle breaks out, you actually have like a really good reason to call on the bard.
Yeah, I guess, if breakdancing ever comes into play. I mean, we've had weird, like, I really play up a lot of the, what do you call it? The music elements of the bard. Like, my bard's always working. Okay. Like, he'll like make sure sessions come to a halt, and then he'll go like play a bar somewhere. Right. And he's got his like own little El Mariachi squad with him.
Oh, so, I gotta know this character's name.
Oh, geez. If I told you, you'd die. Like, and I think I will. His name is Dio Maidensbane. Right. Awesome.
Dio.
What's even worse about that is that he has a underling named Giovanni that they refer to as JoJo.
Oh, of course.
I'm so
yeah, it sounds pretty bizarre.
JoJo music on the soundboard, but I'm not gonna.
Oh my god.
Okay,
and then he has his own band. I mean,
Jeffrey, I've been dying to ask you. Since you have all of the insider knowledge, is there anything that you can tell us about to get people sort of excited about like board game news? Anything exclusive that that you're allowed to talk about?
Interesting question. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it. So, but I don't know. It's like the thing I guess I've been the most psyched about, and I just got this in the mail today, by the way. This is our magazine.
Wow.
It comes out by month. It comes out biannually, right? So if I look through pick hits in this magazine, it has a number because I do the pick hits. Like it's basically I'm picking what I believe will sell. Okay. And
Cool.
the games I'm really high on are in the pick hits. And the one game I'm actually pretty high on and I want to see what it looks like is Hachette and Scorpion Mask Sky Team. Did you guys hear about this game?
Sky
No.
Team.
No.
Yeah, it's
I
like
vaguely heard about it. Maybe once.
it's like you flying a plane, except you can't talk to the other pilots.
Ooh, I
And
love
you
that
have
idea.
to, and you have to, it's a silent game. So like you basically have to go back and forth and manage an aircraft through a flight and landing. So it's I think that's super interesting. I think the Halloween edition of Boop is awesome. Okay.
Oh,
I don't-
yes.
Right.
You know how
I
many
didn't-
awards Boop has won? It's insane.
and we were on Boop really early because we saw this thing at one of the trade shows and we're like, oh my God, this is the cutest thing ever. And then they showed us the Halloween one and we're sitting there like, why did you even publish the other one? I mean, the Halloween one's like 10 times cuter than the other one. It's just, I don't know. It's amazing. I love the game. The other thing I like a lot, and I'm just going to quickly go through this, is Lucky Duck's Paper App Dungeon. Have you guys seen this
yes,
yet?
yes, I've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a trend that is gaining a lot of traction lately, is solo games that are kind of like Mad Libs that you can play on your own. Let's say you're on like a subway or something like that, you could bust out Paper App Dungeon and kill some time. So that's a game I think is really cool. 800-pound Gorilla. That was something I talked about yesterday.
Nice.
That's the Dolphin Hack Games who made what is it? Taco, Cat, Goat, Cheese Pizza.
Yeah.
I got
game.
it. Woo! So, and that's the follow-up where you trying to find the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and you're grabbing coconuts and bananas and all kinds of other stuff. It's a crazy. I bought it already. I'll be honest. This is one of the few games I ever purchased. So
I'll have to keep an eye out for it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool looking.
All right.
So I don't know. That about wraps it up, I think, for what I think of board games. But check out the magazine. Oh, wrong
Check
side.
out the magazine.
Check out-
Definitely.
Star Trek Black. What is it? Black Alert.
Oh, Black Alert.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's so good.
Queen of Midnight by Darrington
yep.
Press. Yes.
Yeah.
So those are all of them, I think.
Thank you.
I think I'll interrupt you if I think of anything better.
No, that's cool. That's a perfect, I think that is a perfect bow to put on this little present. Thank you, Jeffrey, for giving us the time, your insight, and all the knowledge that you have for us. Folks, that is our show. Thank you again, Jeffrey, for joining us and having everyone here. Thank you to Javion and Noir and Marcus God King in the background. Please just stick around really quick as we go over the rest of the show that we're going to be doing today. So, hey, folks, no TableTakes game night just because of some technological difficulties, but don't worry, we're going to be coming back next week. Strong, hard, and awesome. But right after this at 5 p.m., join us for Joyful Gaming around Sarah's table. And the schedule goes, of course, all of this is West Coast time. Mondays at 4 p.m., board games with the Brothers Murph. 6 p.m., Dress to Quest. Wednesday, 4 p.m., we got Path of the Bush going in for Chaldea Games. Brush, not Bush. I'm sorry, I'm really bad at reading. Anywho, Thursday, we got, of course, 10 a.m., Blood on the Clock Tower. 4 p.m., Roll with Rem Alternus. Then join us back on Fridays for TableTakes game nights, and Sarah's table. Thank you for everyone joining us. Everyone, be glad, be happy, and if you can't, just be okay. And that's all you need to do for this. Don't forget, if you miss out on any of our programs, you can check us out here, the VODs here on Twitch, or 24 hours later on YouTube. And, follows are free, likes are free, comments are free if you want to go ahead and make them. And also, don't forget to follow Gen Con TV for more of the best 4 days of gaming all year long. Bye, friends!
Bye.
Bye.